Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode here on Gladiator Disc Golf. Today, we're tackling part 2 on how to do field work. Today I'm going to be showing you guys some drills that I think will help everyone. We're going to be looking at some distance practice, some accuracy practice, and then some shot shaping practice. Alrighty guys, let's get started. If you're brand new to the channel, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by. Please make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Alrighty guys, let's get talking about some field work. Alright, so the first field work drill that we're going to be talking about is the distance practice. Now, that's kind of a misnomer in a sense, because whenever we think of distance practice, by the way, I'm sorry if the mic's a little fuzzy. We got a pretty strong wind today. I try to be in a spot surrounded by trees, so hopefully it'll help a little bit. But with distance practice, a lot of people think that distance practice is strictly just trying to bomb it, go as far as you can. And that's definitely part of it. But the other aspect of distance practice is learning how to throw discs a certain distance. So I have behind me 4 sets of cones set up at 150, 200, 250, and 300. And I have 6 rocks with me, and we're just going to be working on hitting certain distances. I'm going to try to get it out to 300. We'll see if I can. No promises there, but that's basically it. So the distance practice is a great drill. You just put the cones in a line and you just try and hit a certain distance consistently. And the cones help you know if you're missing your line left or right as well. So like I said in part 1, you always want to have something to aim at, even if it's just a cone. Alright, let's go ahead and let's get started. Alright, so a couple things I learned there is that just for myself with the rocks, that 150-foot sort of touch shot, especially with the strong tailwind slash right to left crosswind, definitely need some practice with that. Now granted, at 150 feet, unless it's a really understable angle where I really need my R Pro rock, I'm probably going to be throwing my Conrad ABR or my Infinite Disc Cohort, which is a brand new disc in my bag that I've been just absolutely loving. So I'm not too worried about the 150 foot mark. Once I went past that and got to the 200 and 250 foot mark, I was pretty much dead on with, you know, about 15 to 20 feet radius from the cones, which is pretty accurate. I'm really happy with those results. And then the last one, that was just the Anheuser shank, trying to really stretch the KC Pro rock out to 300 and just didn't get enough air under it, pulled it too far to the right. But the distance practice, guys, is great because just like this, now I could go back and say, okay, I'm gonna dial in that 200 foot mark and keep working at it, and then go to the 250 mark and then say, okay, now let me really extend it and let's see how close I can get to the 300 foot mark with the KC Pro rock. And it's just one of those things where when you continue to do this with all levels of your discs, you're going to see consistency and you're going to see a lot of growth in your distance. Alrighty guys, so the next drill is for your accuracy practice. Behind me, I've taken the single line of cones and put them into a box shape. And each cone is approximately 25 to 30 feet away from the next corner of the box. And so when I'm practicing something like this, it's only about, so the distances are between 200 and about 225, 230 feet away. So really good approach distance is also a great practice I could do with my putters. And what I would be doing here is working on approaching the basket. Now, if you notice, I don't have a basket in the middle of the box, and that is completely fine. This is a drill that you don't need a basket for. So if I have a box that's about 30 feet wide, if I was to have a basket in the middle, there would be a radius of about 15 feet. So in essence, if I could just get a disc inside this box, I should be in for a tap in or at least a 15-foot putt no matter what, with the basket ideally right in the middle. So this is great practice to also for your psychological and mental side of the game. Sometimes we feel like if we even go 10 feet long, we overshot it, but it's still a great shot. Or, you know, if we're not right up nestled next to the pin, we think we had a bad shot. But being 10 or 15 feet left, 10 or 15 feet right, 10 or 15 feet long or short is still just as good as being right under the basket, especially if you've been working on your putting. So that's what this drill is great for. This accuracy practice is great for putters and mids especially. And if you're really trying to work on being able to pinpoint and control your fairway drivers and distance drivers, you can put the cones out at a further distance and work on that. So let's go ahead and let's throw these rocks and let's work on our accuracy. Alrighty, so this wind is definitely messing with a lot of shots, but it's great practice because rarely is a disc golf course ever not windy, especially when you're throwing into a field. So only 2 of the 6 rocks actually made it inside the box, and I was having to adjust for the wind, and some I overcorrected and some I just didn't correct enough. But it definitely gave me some great practice. Now, I'm pretty sure at least 5 of them, I do have a 30-foot putt if there was a basket there. So this is, I'm still working on pinpointing that, and with this strong, like 15-20 mile an hour crosswind, this is giving me some great practice. All right, so I'm gonna go collect those and then we'll get into the shot shaping practice. All right, you guys, so let's talk about the shot shaping practice. This is when we're gonna have to use a little bit of your imagination when you're out in the field. Because obviously if you're in a field, that means there's no trees, there's no obstacles. With the shot shaping practice, this is where you'll wanna practice hyzer shots, anhyzer shots, hyzer flips, all of those kinds of things. So, and I mean, maybe even some straight shots if you're working on hitting a gap, but ideally, if you're working on hitting a gap, go somewhere like in a tree line and then throw out into a field. That would be more beneficial for you. With the shot shaping shots, what we want to focus on here is being able to hit our altered angle and still settle somewhere in the box. Now, I haven't moved the target whatsoever from the accuracy practice, so it's still the same distance, and so I should be able to get pretty close. Looking back on when I was picking up those discs, truly 5 of them had 30-foot putts or closer. So really, in the grand scheme of things, I was still circle 1 on my approach. I would have just had to knock down the putt. So it was a pretty good start. Let's go ahead and work on these shot shapes. I'm gonna throw on hyzer and anhyzer. Alrighty guys, and that's basically it. Those are the 3 different types of drills. Just based on looking from the tee pad here, I'm inside circle 1 on every single one of those shots, maybe 40 feet on one of them if it went a little long. But it's really, really good practice. It helps you learn your discs, and just another reason why field work is super important. That's basically it, guys. I hope you found this helpful. These are just 3 simple drills that you can do for super, super cheap with just a few cones. All right, until next time, guys, have a great round.